second. Okay. So, as you can see, this is my last code right here. I think you can see that. It's nighttime here, but this is got my night vision on. And that's just stuck on the back of my index. So maybe I'll show this in the daytime sometime. But this is how I determine my next drop. I have to take extreme caution as far as my identity, as you can see. I can't be careful enough. All right, I'm going to make my way over to the drop. I'm going to find out if our package is gone. I would suspect it is. It's underneath the bridge. Actually, the walkway here. Yeah, it's gone. All right. Appears our subject picked up the package. Okay. So now I'm going to head back, get out of here. And a little bit later, I'm going to explain a little more detail. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to ensure that there's nobody coming back to the drop. This is not the normal protocol, but I'll explain a little bit later my purpose here. One of my Okay, Project Arrowgate. And what does it mean? Take or claim without justification. It's worldwide. Nobody knows who runs it. Russia is charged with operation and missions of operatives, including U.S. agents, in over more than 25 countries. Well, I'm going to give you a barrage of information here and sort it out later. So I'll come back to it, but we're going to touch on Illuminati. Is it real? And well, let me start out with this. I go by codename Umbra. My true identity will not be revealed on this film. Basically, this is not an official business. Mainstream government in the United States is not totally aware. In fact, for the most part, not aware at all. It's not official. Elite, most powerful run this, even in Congress and business. It's a sophisticated organization. Elites in the U.S. involved, all in plain sight. POTUS is necessarily not involved, although that's questionable. Some of our top agencies are involved, i.e. NSA, FBI, CIA, but not official. A thin thread, off radar. I'll be covering more on this later, but I will touch on the fact that our operatives spend half their lives building their cover, and are always continuing to do so. There are prominent political families, long-time political careers, most of these household names. 9/11, certain top officials involved, i.e. Operation Thin Thread. NSA instead went with Trailblazer because of this. 9/11 wasn't prevented. Look it up. In fact, there's a documentary out you might want to look into. It's called A Good American. We're all sheep, ready for slaughter, and they think this. Why do they track everything? Social media, banking, purchases, emails, texts, cameras, etc. Control. With about 20 asterisks. So what is Arrowgate? First and foremost, the original good intention goes back to the early 1960s, political and financial elite. A sort of one world order. Nothing is as it seems. Wars, conflicts, major incidents, and terrorism. Somewhat constructed. 99% have no idea, or less even. What do these unknowns want? Basically, control of the world. Here's how. Control money and finance. Money runs the world, not politics. Politics is only a tool. Control populations and how they live. Allow or create disaster, terrorism, war, etc. in order to control people. This is a must. Put fear in people and make them dependent on the government, which is what they want. See, Arrowgate uses the government in the U.S. and around the world as a tool. They, in effect, control the government, which in turn controls the population. We don't even know. A small handful of unknown world leaders now control almost every nation. Almost. There are a few holdouts, so they have to be manipulated by the appropriate governments and militaries to deal with them until compliance. Basically, we are a bar-coded society. Everything we do is tracked. They have plans in every agency. So how do they accomplish their goal? To know every individual better than themselves. Here's the deal. The information age made their job a lot easier. Sophisticated programs were created and not even out of Arrogate's pocket. They control events, therefore causing intelligence agencies worldwide to do the work for them. This is absurd. Everything we do, places we go, things we say are subject to high, sophisticated programs utilizing algorithms to track every movement we make. This is scary. They can now listen in on your cell phone, smart TV, pads, cars, etc., even when inactive. Data and real-time audio-video monitoring run by mega computers sorted and prioritized. They hate for you to use cash and leave the phone at home. Another tool, create a need for the latest technology and gadgets. These new items work better for their monitoring, even gaming. Yep, gaming. Leadership. There is an elite chain of command and structure. I don't know who it is, just some big players. It is so ingenious. Everything is insulated and protected, and most of all, each player is unaware of the other for the most part. How? A very sophisticated system. Think Masons, think etc. Here's what they control. Politics, for sure. Finance, think World Bank. Look up fractional banking system. We are so upside down in our monetary system by design. Military and law enforcement, they control on a macro level. Get this and understand this. They control 90% of the world wealth, yet don't have to spend but a pittance to run the organization. They really utilize existing government and finance structures to run everything for them. We soldier work to affect the markets. Arrogate controls indirectly the markets. They are the throttle and brake. Think side thrusters on a cargo ship. They steer. No paper or money trails, no oversight. Who pays the soldiers like me? They use laundered money spun off of legitimate structures. Who are the foot soldiers? Basically, we are spies. I'm talking deeper cover than a majority of CIA operatives. We're talking double and triple agents. The operatives, the ones who move the agenda. That's us. How do we get paid? Well, part of it uh, is a cryptocurrency, i.e., Bitcoin. In fact, I have $2 million in Bitcoin I have to collect. We facilitate the plan, though we know very little about it. Why? We are the agents and operatives. What are our traits? Social but not social. Don't like formal gatherings, parties, public exhibitions, etc. Lay low, lack the need for recreation. Many are ex-military, political figures, past and current, financial gurus, past and present. Law enforcement are former. Loners, members of organized crime and certain organizations we have heard of. Most of these are household names that you thought were not even in existence any longer. Most of the agents are super highly skilled and have extremely high IQs. Most have IQs of 140 and up. And we do have CIA, NSA, Russian GRU, FSB, SVR, British MI6, etc. in our ranks. We are recruited. We use silent methods, garrote, knife, hand to hand to accomplish our work. Recruitment. We are passively recruited. It's called pollination. If I see someone I feel would be a good recruit, I send it upline. I'll never know if they get recruited. That's identity protection. That's why we trust only our handler. Why do we do it? Because untraceable money, besides untraceable money, we thought it would be to our best interest as a whole. I don't think this anymore. Here it is. Arrogate is out of control. What do we do? This is what we do. Distract, divert, divide, disrupt, and destroy. That's what we do. We infiltrate political organizations, infiltrate governments, infiltrate finance, infiltrate every aspect of our society. We seed propaganda. We infiltrate down to grassroots political organizations. We create needs, stir opposition, cite rallies and violence. Guess who steps in? Yep, our government, funded by taxpayers, not arrogate. And still, Social and economic revolt, changes, and movements. Yep, all that you see is about 99% planned, including race, gender, LGBT, protest, cop abuse, religion, sexual discrimination, and general abuse. Social economic inequality, and most of all, drug cartels and drug trade epidemic. Wonder why we can't get it under control? We're not supposed to. Watch. Wonder why high level people are now going down. Was planned. We also, in the biggest way, control the media. All the way to the top. This is done through our manipulations. They do the work for us. How are we organized? The Russians, not the bad guys. They're just better at running intelligence in the spy world, and that's what they're tasked with. Yep, they use Americans, British, French, Germans, Arabs, Czechs, Mexicans, Israelis, Muslims, etc. There is a chain of command, but get this, we don't know who they are. Crazy. One thing we don't want to fuck with them. You'll be dead mysteriously in no time. See, we are all organized by blind command. We operate on discrete communication protocols, often archaic in order to avoid NSA, etc. We always, and I mean always, wear disguise when meeting with each other. This keeps us honest. Yeah, right. Honest, funny. We don't know if a part of our team is a family member, friend, boss, acquaintance, government official, cop, media person, etc. This keeps us from stepping outside of the parameters set for us to operate in. This is so key. I can't emphasize this enough. We use dead and live drops to exchange information, get missions and tasks, communicate, etc. Here's the thing. While you are comfortably sleeping in the comfort of your own home, deep into the night, we are out there looking around and getting our orders. How do I get paid? Cash mostly and often in foreign currency, so as not to do dumb shit and bring attention to ourselves. It's all laundered. In fact, we are tasked with laundering money. I guess we pay ourselves in respect. Crazy. Ever wonder about those business operations, large and small? It's a treasure trove for laundering false operations, businesses, etc. Very complex, but yet simple. Drugs are an easy part of it, and so is extortion and blackmail, especially with famous or powerful people. We facilitate those situations, so we stockpile the money and convert it to usable currency when possible. Of course, we are promised the big payoff when total control is accomplished. My role, I'm an enforcer, corrector, recon, and infiltrator. Here we go. I get orders to enforce our code. That means at times making corrections. That's another word for providing severe penalty or elimination of an operative if necessary. I'm not proud of this. My number is 38, eliminated over 20 years. It sucks, but it's necessary. They do the same to me, no doubt. Keep in mind, we don't know the true identity of each other, but we do know when and where their next drop will be. That's the shit we go through every time we go to one. Will it be our turn next? This shit is absolutely crazy. This is why we only recruit the most intelligent, capable people. Yes, we have a shitload of women too. Okay, I get orders to infiltrate groups, and here's the big thing. We don't hide a lot of what we do. Have you ever heard of hide in plain sight? That's us. So I'm going to say in this one, I have to protect my identity. General mission, make our nation weak. That means even physically and health-wise. Ever wonder why disease is on the upswing? You should. Cause distraction? We are all victims to this. We're all too busy even to look up in the sky. A giant spaceship could fly over, and most would never notice. Here's why. Sports, social media, news, protests, internet, a fever to buy everything and the latest things. Buy a bigger house than we need, a newer car than we need. Are you getting the drift? We're too busy trying to stay afloat. We are being manipulated and controlled. It is getting worse constantly. Take guns away. You can guess how this is accomplished. Guess what? Some of the most notable revolts, protests we see are all constructed on purpose. That's us. Communication, we use the dark web. Look up the Tor network. Onion browsers. This was built by our intelligence agency as a secure communication tool. Now it is used throughout the world, and the NSA can't even see all that goes on. They created a monster, we use it. Dynamic cryptology, we utilize a very sophisticated cryptology system to communicate. It's called the Matrix Drop Communication Protocol, MDCP. It is ever-changing and fully dynamic. Here's a simple but not complete breakdown. Every operative works within his or her sector, defined by the command. Each sector has a defined number of usual drop sites, mostly in public view and some remote. My sector is named Blackmire. Guess which are the scariest? Each of us has our own encryption key full of random 6-lettered codes. Each sector overlaps each other in order to move information across the country and around the world. Every information drop provides us with a code for the next drop. All we know at the time is the day. We take the code and overlay it with our personal key. We take that new set of letters and work them into a mathematical equation. We use that day's closing Dow index rounded to the 6 digits starting to the left and add zeros if needed. We multiply that figure by the day, month, year in digit form, divide by total number of drops in our sector, and get a new number, rounded to 6 digits left to right. That is our day code for that 24-hour period. There is more to it, but that is just a starter. This very in-depth and sophisticated communication protocol is so far impenetrable. The thing is, by the time they, and I'm talking intel agencies, can cipher the code, it has changed again. Here is the real bone. Nobody knows what the market index will be until the close. Not enough time to break and code because it will change the next day. This is top-notch cryptology. It is kind of awesome. Identity protection, we use DNA and identification, negation, and mitigation. Let's just put it this way. We don't leave a trace. We are careful with prints, optical scans, DNA, etc. Here's the other thing. We are trained to incorporate our skills and tools into our daily life. Remember, in plain sight. It is better this way. You never want anybody digging around and discovering something strange. Get it? Instead, we work in our missions into our real-life careers and lifestyle. Many tried to get out. They aren't around anymore. Remember, our most vulnerable time is at our drop. So here's a million-dollar question. Why am I getting out? I think this is getting out of control, and there is no way for me to know just how big this is. The other reason, I never know when and if I am to be eliminated. I have charge over my sector, which consists of at least a dozen operatives. They fuck up, I pay. How do I get out? I just don't tell them. That's instant suicide. Only my handler has access to me, yet doesn't know my true and real identity. For over 2 years, I've been working under Cypress, my handler. He was, in fact, formerly Russian GRU and recruited to Airgate. I don't know his real identity. I can't say much about him except that he has confided volumes of information to me in regards to Airgate, so much more that he is now gone. I think they may have suspected he was looking to get out as well. A short time ago, he was replaced by Memphis, my new handler. I know they corrected him for sure. Assassinated him. This is true and motivating factor for me to get out. Thank God he didn't know my true identity. My only way out now is for me to eliminate Memphis, radical but necessary. So why tell the story and expose Irrigate? I figure there is a likeness that I may not get out of this alive, so why not expose this? If I make it out, I will never speak on this ever. This is my chance. So I get out and tell the story through a documentary, sort of. I reached out discreetly to a filmmaker through channels I can't go into. This filmmaker does not know my identity and never will. I never meet in person with the filmmaker, instead use a third party, also identity protected. Let's call that person Insulator. I am supplied with cameras, lights, and various equipment from the filmmaker. Insulator takes care of moving the equipment to drops for pickup. All of the footage is encrypted and I use voice changing technology when speaking. The footage goes on SD cards that have sophisticated encryption. I am the only one that has the key to unlock the footage, so here's what happens. After I recorded everything over time, providing I get out live, I will pass the unlocking key to the filmmaker so they can unlock the footage for editing. Periodically, I will set up a drop for Insulator to get the encrypted SD cards. Insulator will be in turn set up a drop for the filmmaker to pick them up. The filmmaker will then store them offsite in a secure location until the project is completed. By the time the filmmaker is able to unlock all the footage, I am long gone. This is all a pain in the ass, but absolutely necessary. The only thing, when I'm recording, I will be in disguise. Never can be too careful. Check this out. Insulator, the filmmaker, and I are all utilizing the same wardrobes exactly to every detail. I'm talking down to the smallest detail. This will ensure that there is no identification of clothing, equipment brands, etc. The other thing, by design, we were all exactly the same size and build, well, pretty close. Did I bring up UFOs? If not, you better stay open-minded. There is a direct connection between Aerogate and UFO technology. I'm quite sure we are within a few years away from revealing of that technology. Just wait and see. I'm not crazy, I know. So that's it right now. I'm just waiting on a dead drop, and we'll have more later. Okay, I'm on my way to a dead drop. I got my code, or my call, my chalk the other night. Can't tell you what day. But, I gotta get my marching orders. These are the most vulnerable times for us. Because you never know when it's our time's up. And we're pretty much out there. So I'm taking every precaution I can. Coming in a back way into a very public place, as you can see. Got a little bit of ways to go yet, but heart always gets pumping at this point, because I'm telling you, you never know when I might get corrected. I see something over there, but I don't think it's anything. As you can see, going through some pretty dense forest, and it takes me back to jungle days. I'm not going to elaborate either.
My thing is to get in and get out quickly. If one thing I understand is only because I'm on the giving end of this thing sometimes, is the longer you're at the drop, the more likely you're not getting out of there. So I got like a little creek over here, kind of boxing it in, which is good. I can hear movement. Okay, I'm gonna move around. I'm gonna have to go silent here pretty soon. I'm pretty close. I'll get up in position. We're in the clear. Okay, I got a little distance here. There's a drop site. I'm gonna get in and get out quickly. I got movement. No, that was a little suspicious. I gotta get to that. I gotta get the package. That was odd. Okay, we're gonna make it run. Let's calm down. I'm going in. Here's the deal. I got the package. Now I gotta sit tight for a little bit. I'm looking. I pulled off in a little knoll here. No water surrounding me in every direction here. So I'll hear any splashing. I just want to see if I'm being followed. Appears to be quiet. Okay. I gotta get the hell out of here. I'm on the move. Company. Alright, I got the lens cap on now. I can't show the interior of the vehicle, but boy, that was close. Whew, man. See, you never know if it's a coincidence or the real thing when you're at a drop. I'm telling you. Oh, man. There's all sorts of activity there. Vehicle traffic, foot traffic, dodged 2 people on foot. Now, why the hell are they out there at this wee hour of the night? I don't know. Yeah, I can tell you. This shit's getting freaking scary. I'd like to be able to let you see everything, but I can't let you see everything. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, I got the package. And here's what goes down now. I'm sorry I don't have any video go with this, but filmmaker said it's okay. Go black. So I'm going black right now. I'm just catching my breath here, man. That was a scurry. So I take my package. Inside will be a code. It was exactly where it was supposed to be. So there's no doubt. And I'll go back and using the dynamic code breaker decipher. I'll figure out what they want me to do. Next move. And see, here's the deal. You never get the complete picture at one time, so you have to thread this shit together. So I'll get this message, thread it with another one, and eventually it makes sense. Rolling now. Anyway, so once I decipher the message, it's going to give me the main body of information out what it could do, and I can't tell by looking at it, it's just a bunch of garbled letters, characters, and now, to be honest with you, some are in Russian, some is English, so it's kind of mixed up. Keep on our toes. Sometimes it's in Arabic. So, yeah, when I get a good spot to pull off, I will. I'm going to decipher the message and I'll destroy it. You don't carry this shit around with you. That's a way to go down and go down quickly. Alright. So I got a couple spots that I'll use if there's no activity to do this. And you never use the same place twice because, you never want to have a pattern, leave a pattern. It's bad enough I got a multitude of dead drops for regular ones. You see, I never know till last second on my orders which one I'll be going to in my sector. So, just kind of go over this again. What might be on this message? It could be next even little minor adjustment that I need to make. It might be just an adjustment on some one of the what I call projects that I'm involved in right now. And you got to keep in mind these things are in plain sight. That's the ingenious part about it. They manipulate markets, they manipulate social media, social issues, just about every facet of our society. I'm still not clear right now. I mean, the adrenaline is at 100% when you're doing these things, man, because you just never know. I mean, you can't be careful enough that you're not getting tailed. First of all, you got to make it through the drop. I mean, every single time it's like you're on the edge. It's either your time or it isn't. And this shit's getting down. I know enough right now. And my situation is my previous handler is gone. Pretty sure he's corrected. And if you remember, what I said earlier, the correction means elimination. There ain't no correcting. The only correcting is eliminating these people, and you never know where they went, what happened to them, or they might have died of natural causes. Funny. But, yeah, you got to be on your game 24/7, 365. And I'm done with this. See, I'm banking on the fact that if this thing works the way it is, they don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. It's the most ingenious
system ever developed in any kind of leadership capacity. It's amazing. Can you imagine an army? You don't know who your army is, and they don't know who their command is, and that it's all unfathomable. Well, that's what we do, and you know, you can communicate with these people, but you really don't know their true identity. You really don't, and that protects me, protects them, protects the whole Arrowgate program. Okay, maybe my instruction is to correct one of my agents. All right, spies, whatever you want to call them. We're all ghosts. Yeah, we don't exist. We exist in our normal life. In fact, you know, as I covered a lot of the details, but truly, we spend our entire lives forming our cover in every facet of our lives. Now, some people come into the game later or earlier, doesn't make any difference. Day one, game on. So, everything we do, we cover our tracks. I mean, and I told you, they only bring people in that have a pretty high IQ. And besides IQ, you better have nerves of fucking steel. Okay, titanium. This shit's real. You just come up missing. Of course, if you get caught, you don't want to get caught. Let me just put it that way. You'd wish they'd put a bullet in your head, but it ain't gonna go that easy. All right. So I'm getting close to my ciphering location. Now, you probably can't tell because I'm going black on video here, but I'm sorry for that. I'd love to be able to show you every single thing, but I'll show you as much as I can to protect me, protect my insulator, protect the filmmaker. That's part of that system I was telling you about. Nobody knows who's above them or below them. You don't know their true identity. Yet we're in contact with the people above us and below us. But mostly, good old-fashioned dead drops. Low tech. You know, NSA, I can't even say they're part of this. But I know they'd sure as hell like to figure it out. See, there's parts of every agency involved with us. And I guarantee it, because I just, first-hand knowledge, I know it. We have NSA, CIA, every part of the DOD, FBI, and you'll never know it. And I don't consider us moles because we got a higher purpose. We're not here to take down those agencies. We're utilizing them at their expense, by the way. All right, so I made about 50 turns here, and nobody followed me tonight. Now, prior to my drop, I always scan my vehicle, make sure there's no transmission of any kind of signal coming from it, no cell phones on board, nothing. In fact, we blank out the ECUs on these things so they don't emit anything. So anyway, I'll find out soon, or I haven't found out nothing. Maybe it just says hold tight, in contact, so many weeks, months, whatever. You know, there's been periods of time where I've gone months, and in a few rare cases, a year or two without any contact, and then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. So you can't see shit except for a moon. Okay, a moon, you see the moon. Big deal. We got a bunch of them. hard time. And going black again, sorry. Anyway, we orchestrate all our work. You know, we all got families, kids, wives, husbands, whatever the situation is. We plan this shit out to the T. Take advantage of every situation when we can get out and do our work, and we do it without anybody ever knowing. That's my work tonight. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I don't think I expound on this, but we're pretty quiet, silent people, and I'm talking every facet of our work. So it's at the point right now, I don't even bring a gun with me. Wouldn't do any good anyway. You think, yeah, wouldn't you want to have a backup or anything? Nope. Absolutely not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we can't get discovered. If it is, it's game over for us and anybody close to us. So we can't take that chance. So we're all highly trained. Just pulling in this gas station real quick. We're all highly trained in hand-to-hand combat and silent weapon systems. And that's just what it is. You know, we can't take that chance. I'm just doing a final scan. Make sure I'm not tapped or anything before I move on from here. Okay, looks like I'm good. Yep, I'm clean. All right. I'm gonna go decipher this message and see what I gotta do next. But it was real. But it's a typical night. And you know, here's the thing, and I made mention before. While everybody's sleeping, we're out lurking and we're out doing our work. And this is every single day around the world, and mainly in the United States right now because we're the most influential country in the world. And that's ever more reason Arrowgate is instituting its program here. And again, don't blame the Russians. The Russians are charged with the spy work because that's what they're best at. But we're all guilty. The United States, Russia, France, Italy, Germany, you name it. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, you name it. All around every country. Great Britain. There's MI6 involved with this too. And yes, the GRU, the Russian GRU, and their different agencies. This is what they know. They're the best organizer of this kind of spy activity, so that's what they're charged with. So there's a lot of former KGB involved too. That's just the way it is. But we're all guilty, especially the Americans. And I told you, there are family, household, or not household, but they're household names that you would be shocked or maybe not so shocked. Large political figures with extensive long careers that are involved with this program.
And you got to really at some point wonder why. You know, they've achieved high levels, some of the highest levels. I'm not elaborating anymore in this country. And yet it's not enough. They want to rule the world. That's what it boils down to. I used to think that was a bunch of bullshit, this one world government. Well, it isn't. This is happening right under our noses. You can guarantee it. This is happening bigger and better than it ever has been. Technology is a key factor in this thing. You know, now these young people, I crack up. These young people, they don't know how to think. We're banking on that. So if anything you get out of this, start thinking. But some of the most high profile are involved. And that's for sure. And they're banking on the fact these kids don't, you know, coming up through school and then going into college and coming out of college, they don't understand any of this. And they never will. There's sheep being led to slaughter, period. That's exactly what it is. You can say what you want, that's what it is. And it makes me sick. And I talk to these punks these days, and they're not punks, they don't know, they're brainwashed. You know, and they're all this bullshit, all these social these social issues and you know, whatever it is. You know, that was all orchestrated by us, and that's why I want to get this word out. Don't buy into it anymore. It's crazy. So anyway, I'll cover more of that later, but I gotta go now because my window's about closed here. I gotta get this thing ciphered, destroy this message, and then wait for the next time. But I'll be back in touch with you. You can bank on it, unless you know what happens. And then that's it. And you know, the filmmaker doesn't have the key to all this footage, so he's kind of screwed if I die in the meantime. Because I'm telling you what, once this happens, I get everything documented I want to get documented, and I don't know how much it's going to be. I'll be honest with you. Might be a little, might be a lot. You know, I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but I'm going to capture as much as I can so you can see yourself what's going on. And then you know what? I'm disappearing into the fabric of society, and you'll never hear from me again. And Arrowgate will never hear from me again. I guarantee it. And I'm going back just leading my regular life without this. It's been a long time now. So, signing off. This is Umbra. This is Umbra here. It's on a stakeout here. Watching one of my sectors. One of my last messages indicated that we have some problems with a couple of the operatives. And so I'm here. Check it out. Now I'm at a pretty good distance here, so, and I'm using infrared, obviously. But if it continues to be a problem with this particular one, my order is to take care of the matters by way of correction, which you remember what that means. I don't see any activity right now. There should be. Now, I wouldn't do anything right here today, but there's a dead drop in the distance there. And just about ready to surpass the window. If nothing happens, they'll make it to this one, then that's a problem. And I might add that we're, you know, when you eliminate somebody or correct, do a full correction,
You'll never find them again. Fortunately, there's a lot of new commercial construction, and believe it or not, that's where most of them go. You'll never find them. Midnight burials. Anyway, nothing happening. That's disappointing for them and potentially for me. One of my operatives in my sector, so I'm ultimately responsible. It's a little scam. Well, we have a tight window, unfortunately. Yep, we're past it, so it doesn't matter at this point. It's a problem. Okay. Umbra out. This is Umbra. Anyway, um, tonight I'm out on a mission I'm really not excited to do. As I've talked about in the past, I think you remember about correction. Well, uh, previously, you saw that I was at a drop for one of my operatives, and he did not show up, and we kind of suspected that. Well, I just got my orders from Memphis, who is my handler, and it looks like we're going to have to take care of matters tonight. Okay, uh, it's about 2:30 in the morning. Can't tell you what day it is, but I'm in a remote location, fairly remote, but believe it or not, within close proximity to city limits. And by the way, I'm trying out. The filmmaker had gotten me some new equipment via insulator, my insulator, and some new audio equipment to make it a little bit easier to go. I can hear everything going on. Plus, I have a lav mic, so that's going to be helpful. But I'm just trying this out now, first time, so hopefully it's working. And so tonight, it is my orders to correct my operative, and I cannot give his code name just in case, because obviously, if he doesn't show up tonight, this has to keep, we got to keep going until he's taken care of. One of the kill my rat. It's got a little bit of it too. Stand by. Be with you or something. Anyhow, so anyway, I got some new audio equipment. Mentioned it. I have to eliminate one particular operative. He's one of many in my sector, and it's got to be dealt with. And as I've stated previously, in order to keep this operation going and over there, get overall, it's imperative that the proper chain of command stays intact and that all operatives, extensive it is, and all the officers and everything operate by very strict protocol. Well, this particular operative has failed to do so. So tonight my task is to offer correction. If you haven't, if you don't recall what that means, basically, he's not going to be around after tonight. Now, a couple things. I'm a little bit early right now. Drop isn't for about an hour and a half, so I'm setting up. I'll be doing surveillance. Everything's night vision and very discreet. Now, this is one of my regular drops that I utilize. I use this for myself at times for my drops from Memphis to get my orders, and I also use that for my operatives quite often. We have a complete network of each captain, if you will. I'm an operative, but I'm also in charge, which is not always a good thing. I'm in charge of many, many other operatives. But we each have our sector, and we have from 6 to 7, sometimes 9 different drop sites that we regularly use. And these are predetermined, these are thought out. And the reason we do, because it's almost like mesh networking. These have to be utilized, and they cannot be changed unless orders come down from the top. And here's the thing, I don't even know who's the top. I just get my marching orders from Memphis. He just happens to be Russian GRU. No offense, but he's good, from what I hear. Well, I have to go through with this in order. It's not like you might ask, why don't I just not do this tonight or whatever night in case he doesn't show. If he doesn't show tonight, we step up, and then what will happen is all the sectors will get a notice via a drop, and there'll be like a BOL, be on the lookout. And this guy, we know, we don't know the particulars. Here's the thing. We don't know really even who he is, his true identity. And again, just to reiterate, that's how this whole thing works and can continue to work. Just kind of looking around here. That's how it can continue to stay alive. Now, I want out, absolutely. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I'm risking my life more than you can realize doing this. But I can't get out yet. If I were to fail to correct my operative tonight or any time, now if he doesn't show, he doesn't show. I have alternate locations I can look at, but this is the drop tonight. This is the location. So, if I were not to fulfill his duty, I could rest assured that I'll be corrected. And that's just how it works. And it happens, believe me. So, my thing, I never know when it's my time. So I have to fulfill my duties. And you know what? It's just the way it is. So, I'm geared up tonight for this. I'm going to try to record it. It's going to be difficult. I maybe have to set the camera up at a distance, just let it run while I circumvent around, set up for the drop. When this particular operative shows up, and trust me, they always suspect that this is going to be their last time, but the nature of the business. I've been going through this for years and years and years, actually decades at this point, and it's not fun. But once I can take care of things, I'm getting out for sure. It's just too bad this particular operative couldn't. It's too bad he couldn't have just fulfilled and stayed on task and follow his orders as directed, but he decided not to, and therefore he has to suffer the consequences. So, just a couple more things. One thing, now I'm giving trade secrets here, little by little, and because once I'm out, I'm out. Nobody's ever going to know I was involved. Hopefully, and hopefully I get out alive. But some of the things for the black drops and the live drops, very, very rarely do we do a live drop. Twice a dead drop. Nobody there, dead drop, live drop, somebody's there. This business can't afford to meet in person except under very extenuating circumstances. But one of the keys, we use signals, and we use them in public in various different ways. We'll have through our previous drop and our instructions, we'll have different signals that we'll be looking for a up or down, yes or no. Let's say we have a particular mission that we're on, and there's one aspect that mission has to be executed. Our signal, and by the way, this is part of my duty, is to do these signals. One could be a certain light. So it could be some kind of a light setup where in a public place, usually, generally public place, and it's for our own protection individually. Remote places are the most dangerous, trust me. Not that they can't execute anything in the open in public, but it's less likely. So it could be a light configuration, whereas if there's a public light and we have the opportunity to have that light turned off or whatever, that could be an indicator versus, say light on, yes, light off, yes, light off, no, whatever. It'll be spelled out in detailed instructions. The other thing could be something as simple as one particular brand of a soft drink that will crease it and throw it away in a very certain manner. It'll be creased in a certain place. Now, generally, we don't. I say soft drink. Most often, it's something without a refund. And you think, why? What's the difference? Because the last thing you want to do is have somebody, a homeless person or somebody that's scrounging the garbage, look for cans to take your can, and then the signal's lost. But so anyway, a lot of times we'll use a water bottle, some other soft drink that's not, or a juice bottle or juice something or another that doesn't require deposit. We'll crinkle it up in a certain manner. If it's crinkled, yes. If it's in there whole, no. Or whatever signal spelled out in instructions. Just little things like that nobody'd ever think about. It could be simple as throwing away a mint container with the lid open or something like that. Lid closes one way, lid open is maybe a yes or a no, however it's spelled out. But these are things that happen constantly and are around us, and nobody ever notices. And absolutely, because that's the nature of it. It's just everyday life. Nobody pays attention to these things. Now, once you watch this, you're going to start seeing this stuff, and you're going to take notice. You're going to see somebody throw something away, and you think, was that an operative? You'll see someone tear something up in a certain manner, do something, and you'll see, and usually it's just very nonchalant. The better trained they are, the more experienced they are, the more years they've been doing this. It just looks like they're just going through their daily business. But trust me, it is with a purpose. So, anyway, so that's just a couple things there, and I'll be relating more. Now let's get back to got a little bit of activity here on. Just keep an eye. I don't want to, seems to be a little bit of activity around here today, which is not a big deal. It's completely dark where I'm at, and they can't see me. All right, that is just a little, I don't know if you can see in the background over there, there's a vehicle going down that way. It's sometimes, believe it or not, an inexperienced operative, which would surprise me in this one, because he's not totally inexperienced, will actually go do a drive-by, check out the scout area first. Big mistake. You never do that. That's blowing your cover. Not to mention, if I were to able to get a license plate number off a vehicle, if I happen to see him come, I'm going to be able to learn his identity or her identity. And again, that's just failure. Okay? So, all right. Okay. Okay. Well, I'll get back to that. Possibly some movement over there. Anyway, just a couple of things. As I said, I'll try to relate as much as possible. Now, okay, well, that's a problem. Okay, I'll move on here because I think it might be nothing. It'd be below my line to think an operative would be that stupid. No. Anyway, um, couple little things here. One being that we don't see if I seem a little bit distracted. This is I have to be very careful, as you can imagine. Anyway, we don't use rarely. And I'm not going to say there's never is not a word we actually live in, but we rarely ever use a handgun, any kind of rifle, pistol, anything like that when we take care of our work, unless it's an extreme situation. And that's detailed out. Obviously, there's been times where we've taken care of things with sniper rifles, with suppressors, but that's, again, a very rare situation. 99% of the time, it's up close and personal, and that's the only way it can be. So, in order to do things silently and effectively, we just about always use garrots. And I'll pull one up right here just to give you an example. I got two. Just get disconnected here. All right. Now, with the garrote, if it's done properly, now this is one that is, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but it's very common, and we have a bunch of them. They all look the same. And what it is a retractable. This is a flashlight. I won't turn it on right now because we're night vision work. But anyways, I don't know if you can see this. Yep, you can see the wire. This wire right here is it's made of tungsten, so very, very strong. And it has over, I think it's between 2,500 and 3,000 pound tensile strength. So it's very, very strong. So basically, this I can have with me at any time, and it disguises just a flashlight, retractable. But this is no string. This is tungsten. Okay, very, very fine. So now you'll see in the movies quite often. You'll see in movies quite often that you'll see the garrote used, and you'll see their throats slashed open, almost with their spine visible. And that's the movies. I'm telling you, there's not as much blood. There can be, so that in particular this tungsten is very, very sharp, and it can easily cut right through the skin. But the reason, and then by the way too, on this, on a garrote, you need two handles. Well, this is retractable, and a D-ring and a flashlight server. Great handles, and they're very, very strong. I could probably saw wood with this if I tried. Anyway, the technique is when you come open it, and also in movies you'll hear them like this, okay, and it does make a little bit of noise, not a lot, but it's enough. Anybody in our business knows that sound, and immediately the first thing we're taught to do is put just put one arm up in front of your face, and then so the garrote, if it comes around your neck, it's blocked, and then you basically can escape that very, very bad situation. And I've had it tried on me once, but I was able to break out of it. But anyway, in the movies, of course, you'll see them just come out and just do this at the last second. Absolutely stupid. You're telegraphing the sound of the garrote coming, and they can, a very trained professional will know that and put their block up instantly. So what we'll do is we'll come out slowly. We bring this out way ahead before we get to our subject. And then basically the technique is just you do a wide sweep, come down around the neck, cinch, twist your arm until they cease to exist. Now, the key is if you can manage it, you don't want a lot of blood because it leaves trails, it leaves evidence and whatnot. So if you do it right, this will cut right through in the front. There's a technique where you can cinch it so it puts absolute pressure on the windpipe, and will probably even slice the windpipe if done right. It also puts pressure on the carotid arteries, which will it'll be they suffocate, and then they can put pressure on the blood, and then they pass out from that. And that's just a matter of very, very short time. Here's why this is a preferred tool. In the process, if you're being garroted, you cannot make a noise. Okay, I'm back. But anyway, if done correctly, they can't even get a peep out. Their windpipe is collapsed or held shut by the tungsten wire, and then they got pressure on the carotid artery. And on top of that, this also has a slicing deal. Generally doesn't go to that. If you stop short of that. Okay. Again, we're always trying to eliminate the possibility of evidence. Okay. So this is one. This is probably the most widely used. Again, I don't know if this infrared light you can kind of see it. You can barely even see this wire. It's so fine yet very strong. So that's one of my garrotes. Now, if it's a very, very large person, I may have to go to a bigger version, a little bit stronger. Not that this tungsten, usually when these things break, it's not the wire, it's actually the connections. So, that is a consideration. So, in a case like that, I'll go to my backup garrote, and this one is a never fail. This one has a much stronger. These have rings you can put around your finger. It's just a very strong piece. I can probably hold all my 235 pounds up on this thing. I mean, this thing is super strong, and it's serrated. Okay, this is serrated and very quiet. There's no mechanisms on it. So in the same manner, you come up behind somebody, and there is a defined technique. And if you don't understand this technique, you'll do it wrong every single time. And I've gone through training. I've gone through training in Israel in martial arts and many different styles. I can't actually give those particular styles out this time. But anyway, the technique on the weapons on this is now there's a couple ways you can do it, in or out. Some people like it on the out, some people like it on the in. You put it on like this, you probably got, unless you get gloves on, which we do most of the time, you're gonna be bleeding from your hands. So on a case like this, it's basically just a sweep again. You come out around, over, twist, and then until they're down. Now, if you want to add something to that, you can do another move and add that in after the garrote is applied. You can take in one fell swoop, either kick their legs out, they drop down, and now they're face down. And at this point, they're struggling for air anyway. They're not going to resist, and that just makes your job that much easier. And you gotta be careful with this because you can actually decapitate somebody with this one too. But this is my backup. I like to keep both of them on me all the time. Just you never know. In case one malfunctions, I got a backup. So anyway, that's just a little bit of instruction tonight on a few little techniques, and thought I'd just do a little learning moment since I'm here early. Very soon I'm gonna break here and start doing some surveillance. I usually a good hour before, but never the same. One time I'll be 2 hours ahead, sometime I'll be 4 hours ahead. Another time I'll be 20 minutes ahead, sometime I'll be just on time. I'm very unpredictable, and you'll never know. Okay, so some of you might be thinking, does it bother you to do this? Yes. When you're that up close and personal, you shoot somebody at a distance, you don't feel it. I mean, you can feel it. They go down, boom, 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 whatever. 3 tap, and it's over. And you're at a distance. You don't feel it. When you're up close with somebody, garrote, hand to hand, whatever, knife. I always have a knife for backup. Um, it's personal, and you never get over that. And when you've done as many as I have, it never gets any easier. But it is absolutely necessary, and it has to be done. And we all know it. If I didn't take my marching orders, how can I expect them not to correct me as well? But anyway, this is all in the name of Arrowgate. It's got to stop. This has gone too far. It's infiltrated every aspect of our society today, and I just want to get the word out. Now, as I've said before, you'll never know my true identity if I do this right. But it doesn't mean I can't get the word out. So this very, very unique plan of mine that's been in the making for a long time is coming to pass. And I'm getting very, very close. And what I want to do now is I want to I got to take care of business tonight. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Then I'll get him another drop. He'll get 3 shots. If 3 strikes, you're out. Then the heat's on from all sectors. We'll get the notice, and that's it. So taking a little bit of time out here I am at a pretty big distance from the drop, not in any jeopardy at all. I've been doing this a long time. I know. Now I'm taking a much greater risk doing this with the camera and talking. We're silent killers, basically. But we're not just killers. We have our missions, and they like I said, infiltrate every aspect of our society, and this is worldwide. This is not just local. This isn't just the United States. This is in every country around the world, without a doubt. Okay, so, but it's got to stop, and we cannot afford to let this keep going because at what point do they stop? And we don't even know who these people are. This thing is so ingenious. The chain of command. There is nothing that equals it anywhere in the world. And you have some of those top operatives and agents around the world involved in this, and nobody knows it. Even our own government doesn't know it. And that's the scary part. So, okay. Well, I'm going to cut out right now, and I'm going to go on surveillance. And then if I have the opportunity and it shows up, I'm going to put it record. It's going to be a big zoom in, and I'll take care of business. So I'm out. All right. This is Umbra back here. Yeah, now I'm doing my surveillance, and I'll be scoping out the drop site. It's off at quite a distance here, so you're gonna have to understand why I'm talking low, is because I don't want to give my position away. But I won't be able to do this right up to last second. I won't be able to talk. Soon I'm gonna turn this off and see if I can move up on him if he shows up. Let's just look around here. Yeah, yeah, it's a really long distance away, but we're pretty good though. What I'm talking, I think we're looking. Well, I'm gonna have to say this is about good 500 meters. All right, so I'll just watch this area here. Yeah, yeah. So everything looks pretty quiet. Now, if you look over here, there's a fence in between us all. I already know this sector well, and this drop, so I know my way around that fence. I don't even need lights at all, or night vision goggles as far as that goes. That quite often I don't use any night vision goggles. I have very excellent night vision anyway, and that's nothing more than it's just you either have it or you don't. And reason I don't use any night vision, we have some Gen 4 and then something I can't talk about that do not put any infrared light out, big gather any kind of light source. And you'd think there's very rare would you ever think there's uh, very, very rare, I should say, it's completely dark unless you're in a cave underground. For the most part, there's a little bit of light gathered somewhere. And these more advanced infrared goggles and optics utilize that. And they don't emit any kind of light. So if I had infrared night vision and I see somebody using, let's say, a generation 1, 2, or 3, it's very likely that I'll see their emitting infrared, and I'll be able to tag them completely and easily. So normally we work in the dark without the aid of night vision, but I'm just watching this area right here. This is the drop. Like I said, let me see. Yep, about 500 meters. So no activity, but I'm pretty early. So I got a position here with the camera. It's completely dark. It's stashed, and I'll let this run. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more here. Oh, wait. Oh, that's about it. Now I could probably, yeah, that's gonna have to do. Well, my instruction was not to use digital zoom. I'm not a camera operator, but with night vision, kind of don't want to do that. So I'll just kind of look around here a little. Let me see if I can beef up a little. Okay, back on her drop here. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let this is kind of boring, but you know that's we spend sometimes many hours in one place, staging surveillance, a drop, what have you. And you know, I'm just going to talk as we're just watching this here. I'm looking for any kind of unusual activity. Usually there's nothing. And now in a case like this, it would just be in a, it could be a jogger or whatever. But the reason our drops are ice at night, and it's to protect each of us, is less likely to pick up any facial features. Even up close, it's difficult with even great equipment. So it's to protect each one of us. We try not to do a known drop in daylight hours for that reason. Now, if we do a daylight drop, we'll do that in such a way that it's very, very public. So there's so much activity you would never know it happened. But in a case like this, a remote dead drop, no way. Okay. But, we'll just keep watching this for a little bit. And I'll probably cut this down a little bit. And then wait. And then what I'll do is I'll turn it on, stash the camera here, maybe get up a little closer, but this is probably proper distance. And make my way over there. And I pretty much have a place already determined where I'll be at the drop, and I'll get them coming in and out of the drop very quickly. And then, as I explained earlier, the disposal is not a big deal. I have all the equipment I need with me tonight, and it'll go away forever. Like I said, there's a lot of commercial construction going on, and generally they're all closed after hours, and so they become our graveyards. It's kind of sick, but necessary. So getting back on Arrowgate, and I'll just leave my 2 cents on this. Been involved with this program for a long, long time, and I'm just looking around, just watching myself here. Always are looking heads on a swivel. But anyway, there's activity now and some new things, and you'll I don't want to timestamp anything, that's for sure, but you'll know what's going on. And I'll tell you what, one of the biggest methods we're using right now is the immigration movement. Um, in regards to that, our operatives have been in the field stirring things up, and by the time you get this, you'll know that you'll seen the problems in their country at the southern border, and the detainees and the kids being separated from their parents. Well, it's all pretty much orchestrated through our organization. And see, I just happen to be privileged to know a part of that. The whys, I don't know. But that's just one cog in the wheel. That's just one grain of sand on an entire beach by the ocean that accumulates to a larger plan. So I can't tell you the exact reasons for it, but I'll tell you that it's the Arrowgate's involved with it, as well as any other kind of movements going on right now. And you can be rest assured it's ramping up consistently. So let me challenge you to think back, if you're old enough, many years ago. And do you remember any, other than Vietnam and a little bit in the Korean War, do you remember very many protests? A couple police brutality things here and there, but if you've noticed, in these times, the amount of protest going on, and it hits everything, whether it be gender movements, LGBT, whatever it is, uh, racial, religious, you name it. These are, I would have to say, 95% instigated through Arrowgate. And you can take that to the bank. So we are being manipulated terribly. And I'll tell you what, it makes me sick to my stomach how people are so easily swayed and so easily convinced of these things. And they're very loosely organized. And these dumbass people believe everything that's on the news. I don't care if it's conservative news, liberal news, whatever, mainstream. It doesn't make any difference. You don't think Arrowgate's entrenched into the news agencies at some point, at some high level? They absolutely are. So, and you can take that to the bank as well. No question about it. So, just doing a little scan here. So they're everywhere in everybody's lives, and we don't even know it. Hell, maybe some people I know, friends of mine or family members for all that, I doubt in family, but you never know, could be involved. And I would never know, and they would know that I am. I hope not. But somebody in your life could be connected with Arrowgate, and you'll never know it. They could have been living their whole life with a cover and still operating under the direction of Arrowgate. And some people don't have the option. They're recruited, and bad things can happen if you fail to get involved. It's not always the case, but very often. Now, I told you we do get paid, but beautifully they make sure you don't get it all right now. So by me coming out, I'm foregoing, I would have to say, millions of dollars that I've earned over the years. But I don't care. It's got, like I said, it's got to stop. So I'm just going to scan around here a little bit, see what's going on there. All right. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Okay, just back on this here. But anyway, yeah, it's incredible how far-reaching this is. And I mean, people are legitimately falling for this bullshit. And that's that's another thing that fired me up. And I'm part of the problem, I understand. And I apologize for that, and I truly do. But it wasn't like I really had a choice in this matter either. I'm just doing my job. But it's got to stop. And people just get sucked into it. They listen to stupid ass news agencies or whatever, the papers. Whether I'm not going to name names. I'm not here to do that. But I will tell you that everybody's being manipulated, and I know of very, very intelligent people. It just blows my mind how easily they're influenced on this stuff. It's almost, you know, it's almost like trying to convince a kindergartner or something like that of something, and it's like it's that easy. But people don't think anymore; they react, and we've been trained to do that, and this is all part of it. We're conditioned. I think social media is a mistake, or by mistake that it's so huge. It's absolutely manipulated and instigated by Arrowgate. Arrowgate's been in existence for many, 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 many decades. And it's just ramping up now. So you're seeing the effects in our world now. Unrest. Threats of war, threats of retaliation, protest of every kind. And the whole idea that Arrowgate is going to disrupt enough of our society and around the world, and everybody's going to be in such fear for themselves and whatnot, and hypersensitive on top of that. Everybody's hypersensitive because they bought into this. Like I said, people stopped thinking a long, long time ago. So, yeah, I thought I saw some movement over there, but I got an object here. I'm going to take a look. No. Nope. But you can't be careful enough. So, I'm coming up on my time here where I got to cut off here. And I'm just going to let the camera run. And I'm going to go get in position. I got a short window. Our drops are, within 60 seconds. I mean, there's no such thing as being late. If you're late, you're not coming. And then you got to suffer the consequences like this particular operative is about to. So, anyway, um, I'll talk more later on some more of the subjects, and I just want to put a couple more 3 cents in. So everybody's so worried about who's in office, who's in Congress, who's in power. Is it the Republicans or Democrats or independents? None of that has anything to do with what's going to change in our world or in our society, in our country at all, unless Arrowgate is stopped. And the only way it can be stopped is it has to be exposed. And there's been numerous attempts to do so, and those people have found themselves in the midnight graveyards as well. It's not an easy thing. This is a well-oiled machine, and for all I know, I could be in somebody's crosshairs right now and not know it. And the only way I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to say it, I have to eliminate or correct Memphis. And that's not orders from anywhere but myself. It's the only way I'm going to get out. As long as I see some movement. I just want to watch that area. Now, we'll call, if there's friendlies or other movement going on, we'll call that a dirty drop. Means or contaminated, means there's somebody there. It shouldn't be, but we don't want innocents involved in this, and we don't want obviously as operatives, we don't want to be uh, discovered. Now, each one of these sectors, we have many drops, as I said, and these are very carefully chosen. And one of the qualifying criteria is the fact that they've been cleared for cameras. We have sophisticated electronic equipment that can detect autofocus and infrared and everything else if anything's being recorded. Not to mention, we'll do, before a drop is ever set up, it's actually watched and surveilled to make sure there's no cameras. And on top of that, usually somebody will infiltrate. If it's at a business or a government agency, we usually have somebody on the inside somehow that would know this information. So that the camera networks out there, that's pretty much available to us to know. So anyway, I'm going to cut out now. It's getting down to that time. And hopefully I can take care of business here tonight. Umbra, out. Okay. All right. This is Umbra. And this is it. I have a live drop here. And I've been kind of making my way. I'm still about half a click, maybe a click away. It's dark.
in the night. I got good moonlight on this here, so I got pretty good vision. I got my night vision. But, well, as I previously stated, I could not locate my operative since the other night. And unfortunately, well, there's a reason why we're called ghosts. Sometimes we just disappear, and good or bad. But hopefully that's not going to be my case tonight. Maybe my case, I hope my case is to you, but that I can continue on here. So um, I'm making my way while I can get to my live drop with Memphis, and it's all confirmed. It's we wrote off the other operative. My feeling is he's taken care of, and I can't go into great detail on that right now. But shit's getting pretty heavy right now, and so this is make or break. I'm doing one of the few times that I ever had a sidearm here. Tonight is the exception, because I firmly believe that this live drop with Memphis is going to be my correction. So I'm going to try to head that off, take care of it myself, and go from there. But yeah, it's I covered a lot of stuff in the last video. This is going to be my last video for sure here. Just to give you a heads up, and I got to get moving out here real quick because I got to get set up so I can surveil that live drop for Memphis. And now he could be doing the same thing, but I came on foot about 15 clicks, and that's kilometers, and not taking any chances. So I'm moving very slow, so I got to get going here. But uh, you know, I've mentioned various things, and one thing you guys have to pay attention what's going on here. And if I don't make it out of this, that's it. But I really hope that I do. Um, what I have already prearranged with the my last equipment pickup from Insulator, who we got that passed down from the filmmaker. That's why I'm going with the head mounted, and or just a handheld small camera rather. And I can't take the chance of carrying a bulky camera around tonight, and I need to be able to get in and out quick. So what I have prearranged is a drop-off location for the camera, and it's going to have the tonight's footage on the card, the encrypted card. And again, just to reiterate, the filmmaker has no way of unlocking this unless he gets code from me. So I made the decision tonight, no matter what happens, I'm going to pass on that code. I have a separate drop that I'm leaving the code for the filmmaker, and then actually the Insulator will be getting that, then getting that to the filmmaker, and that's all kind of pretty much arranged. And that way he'll be able to unlock the footage. So the fact that I'm giving that code tonight, this is it, because I really feel this is it. And my whole mission tonight, I have to take Memphis out, and that's the only way I'm going to break out of this thing. And because I think I have reason to believe that, yeah, I don't know, it's getting close, and this is my time. So I know too much, and when I had my previous handler, where I got a lot of my information, um, he was corrected, and he's not with us any longer, and that's just how this shit works. But anyway, I just want to reiterate to you guys to really pay attention to what's going on, these movements going on, the fact that there are political figures that are trying to uh, they're trying to manipulate our society. They're trying to turn us into a socialist, anti law enforcement, anti immigration, anti everything, and you think, why would anybody want to do that? It seems crazy, but I will tell you this, crazy like a fox, because I really believe some of these figures are involved with Arrowgate,
and I can't say for sure, but it sure looks it, screams it to me. And once they break down our own country's borders, they break down our law enforcement powers and legislate socialism into our society, we're 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 fucked. And you guys got to stop this. You got to pay attention. Just watch what's going on. If it seems crazy to you, then absolutely you're going to understand what's going on here. This. If you just think back, it wasn't that many years ago. The stuff that's happening today would have never been dreamt up. And so just watch. There's some rising political figures that are claiming to give us freedom and make our lives better, but overall, um, they're paving way for Arrowgate to come in, whether it's intentional or not. It's going to happen anyway. And maybe they're not involved with Arrowgate, but the results are the same. So that's just what it is. So I'm going to move up a little closer, and I'm not going to talk anymore after this until a little later. Shit's going to get real here very quickly, and I'm prepared. I'm mentally prepared, physically prepared for this, and see what happens. But worst case scenario, you don't ever get this video, but the filmmaker has everything else. And as we speak, the code's already at a drop point tonight, so they'll be able to secure that and open up all that other previous footage. So hopefully, if I'm not taken out here, uh, uh, I'll get this video and this camera to the predetermined drop location. It's a short window, small window, and Insulator will get it there after I depart and get that to the filmmaker. That's all predetermined, and that's it. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys, but you guys got to really pay attention. This shit, I wish I could, I just wish I could put you inside my brain and understand what's been going on the last several decades here, and you would believe it. But it's so unbelievable, nobody believes it. You put out a preposterous situation and a scenario, and everybody says it's just crazy. Well, crazy's happening all around us, and pretty soon crazy becomes the norm. So just understand that. So again, quit living more lifestyle than you can afford. You know, uh, because I got you. Don't go into debt. Don't get off these damn uh, electronic devices. Don't carry them with you everywhere. I'm telling you, they're a personal tracking device for them, and you don't even realize it, and our government maybe doesn't realize, but Arrowgate's on all this stuff because they've infiltrated every single nook and cranny of our society and all our intelligence agencies and throughout the world, no doubt about it. And again, I was part of that. I apologize for that, but I'm trying to get my way out of this, and I want to expose this thing for what it is. I don't, if you don't believe me, I don't give a shit. It's going to happen anyway. And all I can say is, if you don't believe me, you just let the shit happen, and the word doesn't get out. Then guess what? Yeah, you'll have to live with the consequences. And who knows? I might not have to worry about that after tonight myself. But I sure would like to undo this, or at least slow down the progress of Arrowgate. So just get real. Don't be so damn divisive. Don't be so politically aligned, because that's exactly what they're trying to get you to be and do. And they're winning. So I gotta cut out here. I gotta start making my way up. Like I said, I got about between half and a click to go to get set up to surveil my point, and we'll see what happens. But I gotta move very, very slow and quietly. So this is the last I'll be able to speak as I move out. So in case something happens, this is Umbra, over and out.
Okay, I just got done running about 6 kilometers, and yeah, I think I'm out in front. I definitely didn't. I didn't get to Memphis yet, so this is getting kind of crazy out here. So I'm going to. There's a pretty heavy moon out here, so I got to be very careful. I got my night vision going right here, as you can see, and I'm just checking. Yeah, there's the moon. I got to stay away from that. I can't silhouette myself, but yeah, this is crazy. But yeah, we had a little bit of a firefight there, not too much, but I think he took a pretty good shot at me, and I returned fire, not to hit anything. I can barely see, but um, I'm out of breath. It's hot out. I run my ass off to get away, but I think I got a good lead. But I got to do this thing. I can't stop now. But what I'm going to do at this point is try to get out in the front as much as I can. I got to get myself set up. I am leaving an obvious trail, and I want to. My hopes to draw Memphis in on myself here, and I'm going to circle back at some point and see if I can engage them at this point and render the situation to my favor if possible. But I'm on a bit of a ridge right here now, and I'm in pretty heavy concealment, as you can see. But yeah, it's yeah. I don't know how this is going to end, but what I'm going to do now is I'm not too far from my. I got to hold up here a little bit. I want to get up there. I got to. Oh man, it's really got to me there. I got to get this thing dropped off, so I'm going to have to kill this camera here. Looks like I'm running out of juice on it anyway. And drop this off to the predetermined point, so the filmmaker's going to be able to grab this last piece here. I don't know. There's not that much to it, but I don't have all time to record. I'm just kind of checking my area out here. I don't have a lot of time to set the camera up when you're in the heat of the situation, but I got a little bit of lead now. Good thing I'm a distance runner, and I got to get this thing into their hands. The code's already been put out there, so these encrypted SD cards will be able to be cracked after tonight. I really don't know what's going to happen here, but yeah, I'm just going to move up a little bit more here and see what we got going on. But yeah, the key, you got to have nerves of steel on this thing. Some of you think, well, you seem pretty calm and collected for just getting in a shootout, but I wasn't hit. It was close. I had a couple bullet strikes close to me, but no cigar. I don't think I hit Memphis or whoever it was. I'm guessing it was Memphis because that was the site of the live drop or in the vicinity. I'm going to hold up under here. The other thing, you got to make sure that I got to sit for a second. You got to make sure that you don't carry anything electronics with you that could potentially put any kind of a Wi-Fi signal out, so anybody can home in on it. That's for sure. And with satellite technology and electronic counter surveillance today, it's pretty easy to do. Find out if there's anything going on. So I can't broadcast anything out remotely And I made that clear to the filmmaker, who thought originally I should live broadcast back to even encrypted drive. Told him no go, because anything traveling over the airways could be intercepted for sure. But I'm just gonna see where. Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty bright night with the moon out tonight, so I gotta be careful. I'm held up in a little cover area here. I got a nice canopy over me, so I don't know the extent of what's going on here. If it's just Memphis or you got any other operatives on my tail, but I know right now, without a question, I know their intention. Hence the shootout. And if they would have tried, I think they came pretty damn close. So I couldn't tell if there's one or two shooters, but it appeared one just on movement. But I wasn't going to wait around too long to find out. But I wanted to do my best to get an ambush set up here. And yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but like I say, you got to have nerves of steel for this shit, and and you got to be able to think quick and know what to do and what to avoid. And uh, I don't know what else to tell you. I'll be signing off here very shortly. I got to get. I'm not too far from my drop point for the equipment here and the footage, and I can't let them pick up my trail too quick. I scrambled quite a bit, so it wouldn't be an easy one, but they enough where they can find it. The other thing I got to be careful of, I'm after this camera, and using infrared here, and some of it it's a full moon tonight, so we really don't need too much of illuminator, but it might give off a little bit. So I can't afford to have any infrared light emitting here in case they're looking for that. So I'm going to be going completely dark here, and this is pretty interesting. After tonight, if I make it out of this and I can take Memphis out, which is my intention, I'll be coming out of the dark for once and for all here, and then into the light, and never to return to the dark side again here. Um, this is it. Uh, uh, I'll find out if this movie ever gets out, or this video footage, or whatever it's going to be. I'll find out if it gets out, and I just hope it does. I'll never be able to say anything. I'll take it to my grave, uh, protect myself, that's for sure. And uh, they're gonna. Here's a point too, and I got to get going here. But I'm just watching up. There's a little trail right there. I got to keep a close eye on. Um, Here, this point, very important. They're gonna arrogate. You remember they're in every aspect of our society, and especially news and government, and most don't know it. And even those agencies, a lot of those agencies don't understand it, don't know. They're not at the right pay grade for that. But they're going to discredit the hell out of this. I guarantee it. Deny it. Of course, is that just all I'm asking you to do is take some time to think. Get off the internet, get off turn the news off, just think back of different situations, and have they ever lied before? And has there ever been cover-ups? And this is the cover-up of all cover-ups. And it again, I'm not saying our whole government's corrupt, but there are parts of Arrogate that have infiltrated our government to its highest level, and some of the most recognizable public figures and household names. And yeah, I think you know who, and these are, um, and it's going to be generational. You just watch. And these are people who have held pretty high positions in our society. And let's say it's family. Okay, so I can't say more than that. It's not fair for me to accuse anybody directly. I don't have exact evidence, but everything that I learned from my previous handler, that's what we're looking at. But yeah, I gotta, I just really hope that you think about this, and don't throw this off
too quickly and think, oh, that's just bullshit. That's just, it's just somebody trying to make, I'm not making a penny on this. In fact, I'm risking my life and I may end up giving my life tonight. And if not, I'll be going free and I'll get out of this dark world and, uh, and never to return and just live a normal life and hope to see changes. And I'll be making changes subtly on my own. Again, I can't do anything radically and expose myself because I guarantee Arrowgate, once this gets out, if it does, uh, they're going to want to find out who I was. And remember, all identities are protected. And here's the thing. Here's just one other housekeeping deal. Filmmaker has no idea who I am. Has no idea how to contact me at all. This was set up on my part on purpose. This filmmaker has uh, no clue who I am, anything about this, no inside knowledge. All he's going to do is have privy to this footage, and we'll see what happens. Honestly, I don't even think he knows what's going on here. He has no idea what's on these videos, and he has no idea what I'm talking about. But this was a long process to get this set up, and it is very secretive, a necessity. And so, for all those out there wanting to try to pin down this filmmaker, forget it. He doesn't know jack shit about this, and never will. All he's going to know is he's got some footage. Hopefully, he gets it. He gets the code and cracks this and puts it out there, and see what happens. And once it's out, it's got to go public, and he'll probably take heat for it. But oh well, I guess he was willing to take that chance. Knowing that I am truly a patriot of this country, but I'm not a patriot to Arrowgate. I'll be clear about that. Even though I worked for him for decades and um, directly, indirectly, um, um, it doesn't make any difference. I gotta expose this. It's going too far, and it almost seems like daily there are instances where uh, it's become more evident than ever. And I'm seeing things. I do watch the news time to time and see what's going on just to be aware. And I am flabbergasted at the sheer um, the sheer. I thought I heard something. Wait a second. Anyway, I'm just amazed at the sheer boldness of these people and these individuals who are want to turn this country into a socialist nation, which in itself would be hey, there's socialist countries out there, but that's not the point. The point is Arrowgate's going to take over as soon as that happens, and we're getting close. So we all got to do our part and make a decision to at least stay open-minded and make some changes in their life. And if nothing else, it'll never hurt you to get off social media, to get out of debt, so you're not indentured to anybody, banks, mortgage companies, any lenders, school loans, all these things. Um, this is what they want, and don't think you have to get out and buy every damn new item out there that comes available, especially technology, because they're banking on the fact that you're going to do that. And so that's it. But anyway, I'm going to I think I've been here long enough. I'm going to cut for a second and I'm going to come back and do my sign off. Okay, well, this is Umbra here. And, um, I'm just going to turn this around and for one last time address you here. Um, Again, I had to protect my identity at all cost. But anyway, this is it. Uh, I don't know what's going to happen here, but shit's going to hit the fan really quick. And um, we'll see what happens. So anyway, it's been real. And I gotta go, and we'll see what happens. And so hopefully I'll get this footage. I'll send off to the drop here very shortly. I'm actually not too far away, so I'm going to boogie as fast as I can, get up there, drop that, and then set up my ambush for Memphis. And obviously I won't be able to get that on camera. I would love to, but it's not possible, because if something happens to me, I just want this piece to get in the hands of the filmmaker. And so what happens, and they'll never know. I can just hope that things will turn out favorably for myself. But okay. I guess this is it. I'm gonna start moving up this area here. Yeah. Again, apologize on the camera work here. I'm working here, so I don't have the opportunity to get this all set up just absolutely correctly. But I'll do my best. And you know what? It's not about this. Wasn't intended to be some beautiful classic to watch. This is just a message. So, take heed. Okay? This is it. This is where I go. And shit, I thought I heard something down there. I heard a branch. So I definitely got sent off. So this is Umbra. Over and out.